The March event is official. Actually, no. No, it's not. The March event has now become the April event. A little later than we were expecting, but better late than never, and we should still see the exact same products launch at this event. We're expecting an all-new iPad Pro, possibly some new AirPods, maybe some new Apple Silicon Macs, and maybe, hopefully, finally, AirTags finally become official. Let's break down everything we could expect to see launch at the next Apple event, hopefully coming soon to a screen near you. And a big thanks to Ting for sponsoring this video. So the rumors for this next Apple event have really been all over the board. I can't really remember the last time that there were so many will they or won't they rumors about upcoming products. Will we see AirPods 3? Could we see Apple Silicon Macs? There is just a lot we have to cover in this video. So first, let's kind of narrow our scope to the stuff we are most likely going to see launch at this next event, and then talk a little bit more about the wildcards and those one more things, those products that could make their surprise debut. First, let's kick it off with a surprise product that many people might have forgotten about over the last several years, and that is the Apple TV. Now, a couple of interesting things about this. According to the rumor mill, one of the biggest features of this new Apple TV is supposed to be a new remote. Yes, Apple has supposedly learned from their mistakes. A lot of people really hate that Siri remote that has been included for the last several generations, and this new Apple TV should get a new remote, hopefully with some more tactile buttons, less glass, and hopefully they put a little more emphasis on function and a little less on form. That old remote was nice, but it was a little hard to use at times. We're also hearing potentially that this new remote could have some sort of Find My feature built in, that if you lost it between the couch cushions or you left it in the other room, that you could potentially ask Siri to help you find your Apple TV remote, and either it would give it a location or maybe there's a little speaker that would ping and play a sound. I'm not sure how that would work, but there's supposedly some kind of tracking feature built into this new Apple TV remote. And speaking of Find My, according to John Prosser, this new Apple TV box should have a U1 chip built inside of it as well. Basically, the Apple TV is a sort of a beacon that helps you track down your lost items. Really cool and should really help kind of bolster this new Find My network. Rumor has it there are going to be two different boxes, one equipped with an A12 chip and one with an A12X or potentially an A14 chip inside, basically making this little box a mighty powerhouse that can do way more than just stream video and playback content. Rumor has it Apple could potentially use this custom powerful silicon to play back games through Apple Arcade. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Are you interested in playing games on your Apple TV? Would you if you had the chance? Do you right now? Let me know in the comments down below how you see this sort of playing out. Next up, let's talk iPad Pro. And what we are expecting are some big upgrades, but also kind of some mysteries of what could actually be changed on this device. Remember last year, the March 2020 iPad Pro update was not significant, but it did bring some nice updates. And we're expecting Apple to kind of follow that same pattern this year as well. No big significant design changes. It's gonna still keep a really great looking modern industrial design, but should get a significant upgrade on the display. The prevailing theory is that Apple is going to switch the iPad Pro over to mini LED technology, which should give you lots of the benefits of OLED without the price and the limitations and costs of an OLED panel that large. So bright, vibrant colors, much deeper, almost inky blacks. It should be a phenomenal looking display, but it'll still retain ProMotion support so you can have that variable refresh rate up to 120 Hertz, which makes everything silky smooth. So if you are a big content creator, or maybe more importantly, a real big content consumer, you watch a lot of video and play a lot of games on your iPad Pro, this could be quite a significant upgrade that should make the screen on the iPad Pro much, much better. Now, something interesting about this rumor is that we've only heard that Apple is looking to switch to mini LED over on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. No specific mention of Apple doing the same thing on the 11-inch model. The assumption is they're gonna do it on both models, but just something interesting I thought I'd throw out there and point out. But besides that, we know Apple is probably gonna put a new processor inside, maybe some variant of the A13 or the A14, maybe better battery life, maybe more RAM, but little is really known on the specifics. So we're really excited to see what Apple has in store for us with this new iPad Pro. Besides that, we could potentially see some upgrades to the Apple Pencil, possibly a new black color option, maybe a new Magic Keyboard. But again, there's a lot of mystery surrounding the iPad Pro for this year and its accessories. Now, there is some thought that maybe the big headline here is not so much the hardware of the new iPad Pro, but the new software enhancement it has thanks to the development of Apple Silicon chips, the more powerful they're getting, and that maybe for the first time, finally, we could see apps like Final Cut Pro and Logic finally make their way to the iPad Pro. We did recently just see Apple file a trademark for Final Cut Pro as a subscription service, so maybe there's a subscription component to the app. This has been kind of rumored for a while, but maybe this is the year that we finally get some of these full-fledged macOS apps running on the iPad Pro. So you could edit video in Final Cut, you could mix and edit music in Logic. This would be a really cool thing to see and does make sense. Apple's been kind of talking about it for a while, really paving the way that this year is the year we finally get macOS Pro-end apps on the iPad Pro. I would really, really love to see that. And of course, let's get this out of the way. AirTags are finally supposed to launch at this event. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but Apple's Tile competitors, these little trackers that you can put in bags, backpacks, purses, wallets, whatever you have and you want to track, these should finally be launching at this event as well. No real rumor on price. We're expecting potentially 2 models. They could also potentially reverse wirelessly charge off the back of an iPhone. Not sure if that's a 12 series iPhone or a 13 series iPhone, but these have leaked out in numerous ways over the last several months. So hopefully this is finally their time to shine and they can finally become official at long last. Before we continue, I want to tell you about another company that I love just as much as Apple. Another company that is really revolutionizing the industry and shaking things up in their space. That, of course, is our friends over at Ting Mobile. Ting is doing cell service the right way in 2021. You've got access to fantastic nationwide LTE and 5G service. You're not locked in any kind of contract, and award-winning customer service that is there to help you every step of the way and answer any questions you might have. Ting is on a mission to dramatically cut down the price of your monthly phone bill and help you save money. You can check out their plans for yourself over at tac.ting.com, and you can see they're really built with you in mind, giving you access to unlimited talk, text, and as much or as little data as you want. Maybe you're like me these days, pretty much always home, almost always on Wi-Fi, and no need for a crazy amount of data. If that sounds like you, then check out the Flex plan on Ting Mobile. You're getting unlimited talk and text for just $10 a month and just $5 per gigabyte of data that you actually use. It's also super simple to make the switch. In most cases, you can keep your phone number, all the data on your phone, just a matter of popping out the old SIM, putting in the new one that Ting is gonna send you, and you're good to go. You can also click that check your phone button at the top of the page just to double check and make sure your phone is all good to go with Ting. So now is the time to say goodbye to contracts and sky-high bills by making the super simple switch to Ting today. If you want to learn more and check out all of Ting's offerings for yourself, hit that link down below or visit tac.ting.com. And if you go through that special link, you can get $25 of Ting credit for making the switch, which should basically cover pretty much all of your first month's bill, if not much more, depending on the plan that you go for. So definitely check out Ting today. Check out all that they have to offer over at tac.ting.com and start saving today. The next product we could potentially see is AirPods 3. Now this one is a really interesting rumor because there is so much we know about this, but also, again, so much we don't know. So according to leaks and rumors and even alleged photos, this is our best look at the alleged AirPods 3 that should be launching basically any day at this point. And what you'll notice about this is that they look a whole lot like the current AirPods Pro. They are basically adopting a very similar design to AirPods Pro. They're gonna have a shorter stem design. The case looks very similar. That is kind of what we're expecting to see with these current AirPods in terms of hardware. But we're also hearing some conflicting reports in terms of software and features. I've heard kind of two different stories. Some sources say that there is going to be some sort of transparency feature and spatial audio with AirPods 3. Currently, these are just features reserved for the higher end, more expensive AirPods Pro, but they could be making their way down the line to AirPods 3, while other theories and analysts predict the AirPods 3 are basically gonna get a new design, but they're gonna work exactly the same way. If you want want any kind of active noise cancellation, you want transparency mode, you want spatial audio, you're gonna have to pony up some more money and buy the higher-end AirPods Pro. And to make things even more complicated, the rumor mill has been extremely divided on whether or not AirPods 3 are actually going to launch at this next event. You have some analysts who say that AirPods 3 are basically ready to go and they're kind of a shoo-in for this next event, while other analysts, like Ming-Chi Kuo, say that they don't expect to see AirPods production ramp up until later on in 2021, suggesting that they might not be ready to launch at this event and might be saved for something later on in the year. So hopefully Apple launches them sooner than later, but we really just don't have a concrete answer. So now that you know what's probably coming, let's talk about the Wildcards, the one more things, the devices that could make their surprise debut, shock the audience, get us all excited for something we weren't expecting to see. What could that potentially be? Well, there are a couple of theories. First things first, some assume that maybe we could see a new version of AirPods Pro, and maybe even the long-awaited and long-rumored AirPods Sport. These are kind of the cheaper version of the AirPods Max that just launched a few months ago for a very high price tag. I don't think they're ready, according to analysts and the current rumor mill. They're just not ready for prime time, so I really wouldn't count on these making their debut. But what you can count on is John Rettinger doing an excellent breakdown and kind of guiding you through the wider tech world, as he always does a great job at doing. But John is expanding. He's not just talking about the tech world anymore these days. He's also tackling the wild world of finance over on the newest addition to the JFL network, a channel called Money Rush. Over on that channel, John is giving you awesome tips and tricks for saving and investing and kind of breaking down and explaining the craziest current news of the finance world, like the whole GameStop situation and Robinhood. If you want to learn more and subscribe today, check out the link right down below. Next up, what about these new M series Macs? We've heard rumors about new iMacs, new MacBook Pros, maybe even a new MacBook Air, and maybe just a tease of the new Mac Pro. Could we see any new Apple Macs? Well, it doesn't look very likely, unfortunately. I don't mean to sound like a magic 8-ball, but according to John Prosser, it's just not one of the devices that is currently ready to go and is ready to be released right now. Of course, they could always make their surprise debut as this one more thing, and if Apple does decide to release these all-new redesigned iMacs at this next event, I don't think anyone is going to be upset about that at all. So Apple, please, if they're ready, please launch them. And last but certainly not least, what about those rumors about a brand new iPhone SE, potentially an all-new designed iPhone SE Plus? There's been a lot of rumors that could launch, right? Well, unfortunately, again, probably not going to happen. Analysts have kind of started to move their predictions to a later timetable for that device. For one, Ming-Chi Kuo, who's pretty well respected and very well known in the Apple universe, says that Apple is planning to upgrade the SE, but it probably won't happen until sometime in 2022. And I guess that kind of does make sense. It's not like a flagship iPhone. Apple doesn't upgrade it every year. The original iPhone SE went a number of years between upgrades, so we could probably see this design stick around for another year at least, and then we could see a brand new iPhone SE and hopefully an iPhone SE Plus with built-in Touch ID and the power button as well. So that is it. That is everything we are expecting to see launch at this next Apple event, hopefully happening in just a couple of weeks in April. What are you guys most excited about? Are you ready for that all-new iPad Pro? Have you been waiting for like years at this point for AirTags? Or are you just gonna sit back and kind of wait out the clock until these new Apple Silicon Macs finally make their debut? What are your thoughts? What are you most excited to see? And do you think AirPods will launch? AirPods 3, yes or no? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I will see you in the next one.